This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friends and I get together and regorge ourselves what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you get access to not one but two entire podcasts. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where we all decide we don't feel like playing something, so we watch something and talk over it instead. $2 is the everything else tier. You pay $2, you get any additional bonus content. That's it. And $10 a month gets you pictures of my dogs. Congratulations. All of that and more, quite literally, is at patreon.com/thegorge. However much you want to throw toward this podcast, we appreciate. Yeah, there you go.
Our last takeout was a fun film that I like called Hardcore Henry, which is like playing a video game. It's like watching someone play a video game.
It was actually very good. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
It was 7th Gen Video Game, the movie, in all the best ways that it entails.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It had the exact vibes of, like, some Russian guys wanted to make a video game, but then realized video games are really hard to make. So they're like, fuck it, we just stick GoPro on Ivan. You know? Like, that's what it is.
I see.
That's what it
is.
I suddenly understand the entire, not just like the entire, like the core themes of the film, the aesthetics, trappings are all suddenly fall into place instantly.
Oats unfortunately wasn't there for that one, but that's literally what it is. It's a movie shot entirely in first person with all the aesthetics and trappings of a 7th gen first person shooter.
It's like,
but like good.
Like a shitty Gears of War.
Yeah, but like good.
It's Mirror's Edge.
Yes.
But like Atomic Heart flavored instead of Mirror's Edge.
See.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one day you and I will just sit down and we'll watch Hardcore Henry together, because I'm always up for watching Hardcore Henry.
Okay.
Honestly, it was a great movie, so yeah, I actually recommend that one.
Okay.
Anyways, just to kick this off, I haven't done jack for shit. But I will say I want to talk about this quickly. So like I haven't done jack for shit because I've been playing Fallout 76, as you do.
Yippee!
But the funny thing is, I hit rank 100 on the season, like the scoreboard for 76, and it was like the spell had been broken. like I went to log in today and I was sitting there in the login screen. I just sat there for a few seconds and I was like, I don't want to play this. I'm gonna go play Final Fantasy 14 instead. It was instant.
We had opposite spell breaks. You and
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just cut to Sara like the handcuff falls off her wrist.
Like as soon as I knew, because like everything else on the scoreboard is like, and like I would love to hit rank 150, and like I still have a month to do it, so it's totally doable. I would love to hit a rank 150 so I could buy some of that, like lunch boxes and scouts banners and all that fun stuff. I would love to be able to like buy all that stuff, but like as like a thing I have to pursue, it was gone. It's done. I just like sat there. I was like literally in the login screen for Fallout 76, and I was like, I don't want to play this.
So
I have nothing I want to do in this video game right now.
Jesus Christ.
Instant.
So there's a bit in the second Marvel Zombie series where Ant-Man is they're breaking into the the zombies are breaking into the last active facility on Earth, right? Full of survivors. Sure. And it's been like centuries since they've eaten anyone and whatnot, and they're like, and he's got a person like in his mouth about to bite down, and suddenly he's like, I'm not hungry anymore. And like, cause like after enough time, like the hunger wears off.
Sure.
And that's exactly what happened to Sara. She's like,
that's right.
I don't need this anymore.
I don't need this anymore. Now that I got everything I wanted from the scoreboard, and I just was like sitting there and I just thought like, I'm free. I'm free until September. Now I can just play it to do my weeklies. And I've already done my weeklies. So like, I'm good. Like, I'll play it when apparently Mothman Equinox is coming back next week for a little bit.
Oh, word? Fuck yes.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So I'll do that for sure. But like, in terms of like, no, I have to pursue this. I don't have anything to pursue, so I'm free. It feels great. So I guess I'm back to leveling classes in FF14 because that is something I can.
Ant-Man puts down the person and then just picks up a cow and starts eating that instead.
That's correct. I need something else to pursue. That's what it is.
Sarah's like, well, I'm done with heroin. Now LSD.
Now back to crack cocaine. Yeah, no. So that's literally it. I'm free. It feels great. That's a weird feeling to just like look at the video game that you put so many hours into in the last couple weeks and gone like, I'm good.
It's weird that is kind of like the defining relationship with the modern season pass game, though, because like Fortnite and Destiny 2 and all those are exactly the same way in my experience.
Oh, sure.
Where like, oh man, I don't know if I'm feeling like playing this, but it has this thing I want, and then you unlock it, and then the instant you do, you're like, I'm done. I'm
free! I have nothing else I need from you. Whee! And then I go prance out in the sunlight before Final Fantasy 14 grabs me by the scruff of my neck again. It's like, you're not done. I'm like, fuck, you're right. Yeah, but like, you know, and even like the Siren Call of FF14 hasn't been as strong. Like, I don't necessarily want to do the gear grind this time. Mostly because like, you do the gear grind once, and then a new X-Pack comes out, and all of that work just instantly goes out the window.
Yeah.
Because like, all of that gear you grinded for, you can just buy for tomestones at the beginning of the X-Pack. And I'm like, oh, I see. Like, so I don't need to like stress about it too much.
I do it because it's a fun thing to do once a week.
Sure,
and they're fun boss fights to do. But like, I'm not gonna kit out every single class that I'm leveling. You know?
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's weird. Maybe I'll actually finally finish Cyberpunk 2077 and we can do an episode on it finally after.
Yeah.
I'll have to replay the game then because I've forgotten what's happened.
Yeah, maybe I'll finish that at some point. I got stuff I want to play now.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. That's all I got. I needed to get that out of my system because it was like the most incredible feeling to just be like, wow, I'm out.
I'll go next, I guess, because like
sure.
I think my week is kind of in conversation with Sarah's in a specific way, which is that this is the week in which I have been playing a lot of Fallout 76 as usual.
Sure.
I've been done with the grind for significantly longer than Sarah has, but I'm just chipping away at it. I'm hunting for weenie wagons, as it were.
If somebody's got a weenie wagon for sale in Fallout 76 out there, and you want to sell it for like a reasonable price, just DM Saturn like on Twitter or something.
If you have a weenie wagon plan in Fallout 76 and you want approximately 20,000 caps for it, just get in my DMs. I would be happy to take it off your hands whenever, wherever. But I had the opposite spell-breaking moment where just like the night before last or the other night, we were gonna do our Monday night. We never did raids this week. We're gonna do raids. And I logged in FF14 to do raids. I sat there and thought about it and looked at my inventory like, I have to do like 2.5 more weeks of the raid weeklies to get my full kit for Sage. And I thought about it for like a bit, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't really feel like it.
I don't wanna. And so I did.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's kind of like, so it's funny to me that it said the opposite thing of like, I am actually still thoroughly in the just playing Fallout 76 to goof around and kill time mode.
Sure.
Whereas this is, I think, like, I don't know, like, this is, I think, the first time since we started playing FF14 that I have like voluntarily canceled my subscription. Right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I sort of went like, you know what, I'll come back whenever 7.1 or 7.2 or whatever. Not worry about it.
Absolutely.
And I don't have to worry about
the Alliance raids are
house
good.
going anywhere.
Yeah, don't worry. The company house isn't going anywhere. We got people coming in and out of it all the time. So
exactly.
So yeah, it's fine. But yeah, no, once the Alliance raids drops, it's fine. You know.
Yeah, like I'll be getting back on for that in all likelihood, unless y'all do them before me, and it turns out they're really bad or something. But I find it hard to imagine that being the case. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Especially after the raids were so promising. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So. Aside from that, I haven't actually started it yet. I don't know when I'm going to make time for it, but I did pick up Fate Stay Night.
the funniest story that came out today.
Uh-huh.
And they fixed it basically instantly. but the release of Fate Stay Night today was really funny.
What you got to do, Saturn, is you got to go on Steam right now, and you got to turn off automatic updates on that game.
I unfortunately did update it while we were starting the episode, so it is current.
So now we just have to wait for the Nexus to put out the downgrader.
Yeah.
But a very funny thing to be like, it's August 7th, 2024, and I'm out here like, I'm playing the first ever official English release of Fate Stay Night. I bought it.
You bought it.
Like, you own it.
I own it. You can own Fate Stay Night in English. And it's not like just a file on your computer. It's a thing that you have like some legal credence to.
Yeah.
It's not something you downloaded off the Pirate Bay or whatever. So that's...
It's real. It's so weird.
It's so strange. And it is very funny that you had the... I guess we'll get to it in news maybe when I mention it, but like...
I didn't put it on the docket so you can talk about it now.
Oh, okay. Just the it having the literal like old ass fan patch thing of like, oh, in English it's fucked up because they didn't change the character encodings properly, and so if you use English it's just jumping all over the script and giving you like every achievement and putting character sprites where they don't belong, and things of that nature.
The funniest thing, I mean, there were a lot of things.
There were so many good ones.
It was incredible. But one of the funniest things I saw was that more people had the achievement for finishing the Reen route than for summoning Saber.
Yeah.
A thing that normally you have to do the second one to accomplish the first one.
You unlock Saber as a part of the prologue.
Yeah.
You, in fact, have to summon Saber before you do basically anything else in that game.
It's like having more achievements for hitting end credits than for like seeing the opening title card.
Yeah.
The way the game branches, you don't even get to start picking which of the 3 endings you get until significantly like the day after you summon Saber.
Yeah. It's a prerequisite.
What if the most popular achievement in Nier Automata was the Ending C achievement?
Yeah,
what the fuck are you doing?
How did you do that? My favorite comment about this was someone who posted, more visual novels need to have randomizers.
They did now.
Yeah, I love it.
That's basically what a World of Horror is, if you think about it.
That is true.
Kind of, yeah.
World of Horror is a visual novel randomizer. Good point.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, no, all of it was coming out. The fact that the game keeps pushing Ilya really hard.
Yeah.
Like they just get there's so many like fade-ins of Ilya instead showing up. I love it. I'm just obsessed with it.
The one that's just like describing how disgusting the crustworms are as they're like coming at you, and it's just a bunch of Ilyas.
Yeah.
Nissan, how could you? How could you say that about me?
It's so funny. Yeah, no, they've already basically instantly fixed it because they're like, oh, fuck. But it was a really funny, 6 hours on Twitter, so,
yeah.
You would think, finally, after all these years, you can just buy it and install it. No. The kids need to learn.
No, 1, the children need to learn, and 2, it's not a Type Moon English release.
That's such a good publicity event for them, honestly.
I know, honestly. And it's not a Type Moon English release if something isn't, hardcore fucked, right? That's just how it be.
Some of the screenshots, no lie, looked like they would be in an FGO event.
Yeah! You just have sprites, just going, whee! Across the screen.
Yeah.
The flash cut of Ilya in the background of Are You My Master?
Yeah.
Gets me every fucking time.
It's amazing. But no, I am excited for people to actually play FGO for the first time and actually read.
Well, no, FSN.
Oh no, FSN. Yeah, sorry.
If you haven't played FGO yet,
yeah, go play FGO. I'm doing it right now.
Yay!
I'm getting the last bit of grinding in.
I will say, for what it's worth, although its all-time peak is not very high, it is actually better than Mihoyo's.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So successful enough as far as they're concerned.
Hey, I mean,
that's
a win. I'll take it. I just want And the thing is, though, now, like, they've already announced that Hollow Ataraxia is getting a Steam release. Like, what's left? Like, we did it. We climbed the whole mountain.
Strange Fake, finally. Finally.
I guess an official release of Strange Fake?
Yeah. We get Tokyo Game Show next year, and there's a just an all black screen, and it just says Fate Stay Night 2. No, that's the point. It's Fate Stay Night 2.
No, it's Fate Stay Night 2. It's a sequel to Fate Stay Night.
I see.
It's Fate Stay Night 2, the sequel to Fate 0.
Actually, no. I know what the and I mean, there's already a fan translation for it, which I also need to make time to play for now that like my live service game spells have been kind of broken. But the actual final White Whale of the Fate fandom is official release of extra CCC.
Yeah. That's true.
That would be cool. Maybe we'll do. I mean, they are remaking. There's the extra record thing they're doing, and it would be cool if there's like, we did all this work for extra record. We're just also remaking CCC while we're at it.
I would love it if they would remake CCC because huge CCC fan excited to play it for the first time, right? Like that's me. I guess that's the last true like you said, Strange Fake. Is like an official Strange Fake release would be good, but like the actual Strange Fake anime.
Yeah, that's the real one that I want more than anything.
That Strange Fake anime that's definitely happening.
I wish I could talk about it with literally anybody.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's driving me insane.
I'm holding out hope for Tiger Coliseum.
Yes.
I guess you could do the El Malloy files. If you really wanted to be crazy.
Yeah, but that anime came out officially.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
we did content on it.
Yeah. It actually got like an official like Western release.
No.
Yeah.
I thought it was fan sub. Excuse me.
Maybe just like new Fate thing.
New Fate thing.
You
did Samurai Remnant. Do more of that.
That's true.
If as long as they have that part that relationship with Koei Tecmo, or not Koei Tecmo. Is it Koei Tecmo? Yes, it is Koei Tecmo.
Yeah.
As long as they have that relationship, we need them to have Nobunaga's ambition.
That's true. We need an actual Nobunaga's ambition, but with our Nobunaga instead. Yeah, that's true.
I remember it when that first got announced, Samurai Remnant got announced, like, so you're working with Koei Tecmo, so like, why not Nobunaga's ambition? And I think Natsu's response was like, it was either Natsu or a Sakurai, I forget. But it's like, our Nobu's different.
Our Nobu's a little different. I just like that the Koei Tecmo guy is just in love with Musashi, and that's why he was like, no, we have to make a Fate game. It's like, okay, dude, sure.
Look, if I was a CEO of a nominally successful video game developer and publisher, and I had that kind of power, I would be exploiting it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Astolfo gets to be in everything now.
Why are we getting a Megane Chikajoin video game? No one even watched Recreators.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, well, is that it, Saturn? You got anything else? That you've been playing?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll spare the regaling the audience of the Fallout 76 story. That can just be something that comes up again in the future.
Okay.
I thought about I'm like, do I want to tell that story? I think it's a pretty good story. I'm like, I'll wait. It'll come to me again.
That can come another time.
Oats, how about yourself?
I played quite a bit of Fallout 76. Mm-hmm. For the same reasons as everybody else, which is to say, it is a great puttering around game.
It is.
I finally decided to be a bit of a freak and do some character like build theory.
Sure.
And I now have an unyielding melee character, and it feels like I've achieved godhood. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. Like, a little too much fun with that. I have 16 HP and nothing can fucking touch me.
That's great.
Like, it feels great. Insanely great.
similarly unlocked an unyielding, unarmed build on Pippi, and it's just a completely exorbitant way to play that video game.
It's just like, oh, I get it now.
It's too luxurious.
I get it.
Yeah.
You have like 30 in every stat, and also you're like dodging fall damage, and like the one time something hits you, it ricochets and instantly kills them. You punch someone in their head, and their entire body explodes.
It feels so good.
Great.
So I've mostly been doing that. I've been trying to get Fallout London to work, but it is still in a state where it is extremely unstable, loads very slowly, and depending on where your exit save is, you might have to go back to an earlier save because you decided to put your exit save in the main, like in the overworld. And it doesn't like that at all. Mm-hmm. And it just crashes on startup.
I see.
So that's mostly been what I've been up to. I played a little bit of Warframe because, we continue to live in a world post Ember getting her new skin that shows off her ass.
Right, so everybody is playing it.
I had a lot of plat.
I see.
So I now have Ember's gigantic fucking ass to look at constantly.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, that's right. Good
so I've been in a great mood.
Yeah, you're having a great time playing Warframe, that's for sure.
I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 at all. I let myself lapse. I just do not. The grind did not capture me whatsoever this time around.
Yeah.
So I played all the bosses and I went, I'm great.
Yeah.
I feel good. I got the high I needed. I'm done.
Yeah, speaking of Warframe content that's very targeted to Oats / I would say Apricore, have you seen Sivagoth Prime?
Yeah.
I'm going to post it in the group chat for everybody to look at.
I would like to see this.
Okay, let's take a look.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, that's pretty damn cool looking.
Sexy, edgy, pink.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when edgy things have hot pink in them.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Honestly, it looks kind of... He's got a little bit of that, like, Xenos Avatar kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
Heat going on, which is a great look for Sivagoth.
Great.
Yeah. I continue to sing the praises of Warframe having slowly but surely becoming co-opted by nothing but Fujoshi.
That's correct.
And being like the perfect video game for a little freak rancid woman.
That's right. It's the perfect always online video game for you.
Yeah. Rotten Girls Unite.
We really just need the industry to finally wake up and make the Fujoshi MMO.
Yes, I agree.
I need Fallout 76, but it's like a fantasy game with elves, and also it's by and for Fujoshi.
That's right.
Made by Fujoshi.
For Fujoshi.
Out of Fujoshi.
Out of the bones of Fujoshi.
Inexplicably, El Fury MMO sells 10 gorillion copies.
Breaks new ground.
I'm telling you, I think that sounds great. I want to see somehow I was going to say like an Otome game MMO, but that is also just kind of FGO. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It's kind of just FGO if you think about it. But that's why FGO is peak. It's fine.
The monkey's paw curling. Hey, they should make an FGO MMO. That would be a cool idea.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I think if they're ever gonna make, speaking of Fate, if they were gonna make like a new Fate thing, I still think extremely high on the list of like things I desperately want is just an Arc System Works Fate fighter.
Yeah, Tiger Coliseum 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Fighter Coliseum 2, but like it's fucking by Arc System Works and it's just FGO characters.
Fate Grand Prix.
Yeah, just something like that. I think that would kick ass. I would just love to have like a real fighting game. Diva, why are you whining at us while we're trying to record, BB? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you'll be alright.
It's just got Moriarty on the cover and it's called Fate Grandpa Order.
Oh, there's our Fujoshi Fate game. Okay. Sells 10 gorillion copies. Let's fucking go.
So yeah, that's basically been it. Sarah and I watched a little bit more DS9.
Show's good.
Show's fantastic. Good. That's kind of bad about it, though.
Yeah.
Someday I'll pick it back up.
It's great.
All right. Well, I did I did some stuff.
Okay.
I finished Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
That's still a really, really good RPG. God, I love Thousand Year Door so fucking much. That ending still, the climax, the fight with the Shadow Queen still gets me every time. I always get a little bit choked up at the second phase of that boss fight.
Sure.
It's a classic RPG.
Yeah, a nominal classic. What else? I've been alternating, or I've also been playing Fallout London. So when I'm not playing 76, I'm playing Fallout London. So I got it working by downloading the loading mod for base Fallout 4. Updated for Fallout London. There's a Fallout London extension for it.
That's nice.
So it does cut the loading times like in half.
Yeah,
oh, good.
I managed to figure out my own specific fix by uncapping the frame rate and then forcing my GPU to lock its frame rate instead and make the GPU do the work for Bethesda.
Right.
And that mysteriously also fixed my loading time, so it takes like 15 to 30 seconds instead of like 2 minutes.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
That's a winner, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, no.
It's really like I don't know. I don't know if it's because so like when I play Fallout 4 now, like nowadays, when I start a new game of Fallout 4, I exit the vault and then I go, all right, tilde, set player level .30.
That's why it's hard, Ben.
Pick these perks, and I'm on vacation when I play Fallout 4. Okay,
Sure.
I am here to go on all the theme park rides because I got Nuka Fast Pass, okay?
That's right.
All right.
But that's why London is hard, because like
the London's just hard.
No, the first 30 levels of Fallout 4 can also be hard.
Yeah, the thing is that like the first 30 levels are meant to be extremely brutal because the game isn't even balanced until you hit like 25.
Right.
But also London is hard, and not because the enemies are particularly brutal. The game does the New Vegas thing of leveling areas. So certain areas you're not supposed to go towards, and they definitely warn you by like going like, "Hey, you died in one hit."
Right.
Yeah.
Go a different direction.
But then I'll get to the point. The quest is like, "Hey, go here and fight these guys." Okay, but I can't. This is the MSQ. I can't.
Go do something else.
Go grind.
Okay.
Level
go
up.
elsewhere.
Okay.
But the other thing is so like I've gotten to a point where like I'm almost at level 40. Things are easier. But there is a very noticeable difference of it does the Fallout 76 thing of okay, you fought a wave of enemies. Secretly right behind you, we have been spawning like 19 more of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there was
I see.
There's a quest that I was doing to unlock the first one of the settlements you can unlock, right? And then you have to break into this facility, and it's full of so Fallout London does an amazing thing where they create their own version of ghouls.
Okay.
And they're called nymphs, and they're plant people.
Oh, that's fun.
And so you go to a facility that's overrun, like an underground facility that's overrun by them. And I just couldn't do it.
I see.
Like I just could not get through it. And eventually I'm like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. Okay. Tilde. Player.add item. 100 million stim packs.
I see.
Like, do you ever just get so mad at a game that you're like, you don't deserve to be played fairly anymore?
You're just
no.
I'm gonna cheat. Yeah.
I need to hurt you.
Have you ever thought about just putting the difficulty down?
No, that's a coward's move.
Okay, and spawning 100 million stim packs is it?
No, because those stim packs need to regenerate your health. Which means if I get hit while the animation is going, I still die.
I guess.
And so to clarify, I went in there with like 3 stim packs.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do. If I get hit twice, I'm down. I just need to spawn a bazillion of them in my inventory so that I can like kind of inch my way through.
I see. Okay.
I am a freak, a true FromSoft player. So I saw the challenge of that particular fight and went, I'm gonna go back, and instead of grabbing a stim pack, there's a bar near down the way. I'm just gonna grab as much beer as I can.
Boost your strength.
Boost my strength up and just power through.
Right.
But yeah, no, it is challenging for sure. But once I hit about like level 12 and I had enough HP to survive a hit or two, like it got a lot more smooth to play. There's a lot crammed in this thing. That's just their own creation. Like they just built it. They just programmed an entire new, like a whole new fleet of enemies. They have their own variant on Death Claws. Because there can't be Death Claws in London.
Yeah, of course.
That doesn't make any sense. They were born in a facility in America.
They're also based off of the chameleon. They're a thing that you'll never find in Britain.
Right. They have a whole new race of mutants. Yeah. Because they don't have super mutants, right?
Yeah.
So they have their own thing. And it's really... they have the Zora.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about the Thames folk is that the way they imply their mutations work, they're just the Trogs from Pittsburgh.
Right.
Well, what I also like is like because I haven't been playing it, but like I've been watching someone go through it just because like I'm not going to reinstall Fallout 4 anytime soon, but I am still curious, right? I love that in the intro thing, their description of the Thames folk is so vague as to make you think of like, oh, it's going to be ghouls, isn't it? It's just going to be like, it's just going to be a ghoul city. And you get there and it's fucking fish dudes. And
it's the Drell from Mass Effect.
It's the fucking H.P. Lovecraft fish people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which rules. It's so good.
It's a great tie-in to like stuff that exists in the base game. Just going, no, there's a Dunwich Horrors in here.
Yeah.
There's just Lovecraft shit in the Fallout world.
I don't know if there is one, but if the devs for Fallout London were smart, they would put in a Thames folk companion that everyone would want to fuck.
I see.
Yeah, no.
She has a red ponytail and her name's Undyne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you meet one Thames folk that's kind of cool, and I immediately got Thane from Mass Effect vibes from him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, if you turned it up a little bit, he would be the Nick Valentine of this game.
Right.
The thing is that the ferryman, as cool as he is, they very cleverly put enough very scraggly looking facial hair on him that he is in no way attractive. Right. So he just bounces off people. So they looked at him and went, now how do we make sure that people don't want to fuck the toaster from Fallout 4?
How do we do that? How do we avoid that mistake?
It was a deliberate choice then.
Yeah.
That's great.
But no, I'm having a blast with it when it's not pissing me off. They do a really, really cool thing with dialogue, wherein they'll give you a lot of options that say this that do the same thing, but give your character a different voice to say it in.
Right.
Which is, I think, is a really, really cool way to like still give you some like character development, like, kind of, role play a little bit, but still, progress the story.
Right. You still have to kind of work within Fallout 4's system, unfortunately.
Yeah. But, you can be like, it's like, hey, did you kill that guy? And you can be like, yeah, it's sorted, boss. Or you can be like, yeah, I took care of it. It's really cool.
Yeah. They, I understand why they didn't, because I'm sure it doesn't, I don't know how well it functions. I know the Cascadia guys came up with a way to do like more than 4 dialogue options. And then they put that framework out, even though Cascadia itself isn't out. But I'm sure it's a huge pain in the ass to work with. So they're like, fuck it, we're just going to use the Fallout 4 system. Who cares? It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you have the opportunity to make more decisions and stuff like that, but like, yeah, it's the Fallout 4 engine. They're gonna work within the confines of that. They're already stretching that game to its breaking point.
Right.
They didn't need to build a whole bespoke like dialogue character building option.
What's really fucking me up is that the game is... I officially hit a point where I started seeing, like, coming across districts and realizing that each one is, like, the size of Old World Blues. And there's, like, 5 of them.
That map is huge, and there's, like, underground areas that you can go to that are also fucking enormous.
The game is bigger than New Vegas, which means the game is bigger than a full-ass Fallout game. And it's really fucking me up.
One last thing I'll say about it is that there's a really cool radio station in it called The Mend, which is full of covers that Fallout London, the devs got specifically for Fallout London.
Oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an amazing cover of Scarborough Fair in it. And I get so excited every time I hear it. But yeah, no, that game is great. I'm excited to talk more about it when I play a bit more of it. The two big things that I've been watching, though, is that I've been alternating between episodes of Star Trek and episodes of The Acolyte.
Okay.
And The Acolyte is good. I really do like The Acolyte a lot.
Sure.
How far are you into it, out of curiosity?
I'm about to start episode 5.
Okay.
I think about halfway-ish.
I don't know a whole lot about that show, but I know a very fun piece of trivia about a character design. I think I should probably, just to be safe, I'll wait until you're done with the show.
Okay.
That's that Star Wars show, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's good. I like Star Wars things that are not about the Skywalkers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just like,
Shame about them last movies.
Here's a character. They exist in the world of Star Wars. Here's their story.
Right.
Remember when Rian Johnson in his movie is like, actually, fuck the Star Wars. It don't matter. You can tell any kind of story you want to in this setting. In the next movie, they're like, no, fuck that guy. He's stupid.
No,
it's all about the Skywalkers, baby.
It's all Skywalkers all the way down. But the real highlight is Star Trek: The Next Generation.
That's
yeah,
right.
baby!
Which is a really, really, really good show.
I told you!
I started on season 3.
Okay.
And I am on episode 16 of season 3. The last one I watched was the one where Data had a daughter.
Oh, good. Great episode.
Great episode.
Great episode. Yeah, no. Isn't it good?
I have not hit an episode that I have disliked yet.
There's some stinkers in there. You'll get to a few. But overall, I mean, it's pretty damn good. Even the stinkers are entertainingly stinky, right?
Sometimes.
Every now and then you'll get to a real stinker. We got to an episode of Deep Space Nine the other day where we got about 5 minutes and we're like, nope, not doing this one.
Oh my god, the first bad episode of Deep Space Nine.
I think Deep Space Nine has a couple of stinkers that I was able to push through. That one was we were 5 minutes in and Sarah looked at me and went, "Are you done with it?" And I'm like, yeah. I was done the moment I figured out the premise.
Yeah, it is the one truly stinky episode of DS9 that I have encountered. Yeah.
There are certain episodes where I kind of had to click the skip ahead 10-second button for some things. Whenever there's a hot guy that Troy kind of has a thing with. And I'm like, okay, I get it. This happens every 3 episodes.
That's
Troy
right.
has a new mysterious hot guy that turns out to be a dickhead.
It turns out Demona gets it from someone.
Oh, it sucks so much. Yes, Rick Berman is going to hell, to hell forever because DS9 has great female characters, and I love Beverly Crusher. She's my wife in TNG.
She's great.
She's criminally underutilized because she's a female character on a Rick Berman show, but she's great. But the way they write Deanna Troi is the proof that I think that Rick Berman should go to hell no matter what. Because it's so bad. When
she's not fawning onto a huge dickhead, she's great.
Sure, yeah. It's just very rare.
But every other episode that has a focus on her is some guy is on the ship and he's like, "Hey, I'm kind of smarmy." and I'm up to some shenanigans. She's like, "Oh, I sense your pain.
I sense how big your dick is. Oh, yeah."
Have you gotten to one of the multiple episodes in Star Trek The Next Generation where they just have her in, like, skin-tight yoga clothes for no fucking reason?
Yes!
Just because Rick Berman wanted to see it?
Yes, it was, what was it? It was her and Crusher. They were doing
Crusher,
yoga.
Yes. They're doing fucking jazzercise together. And like...
It's like, this is here because Rick Berman wanted to see those actresses in workout clothes.
I know,
you can't tell me otherwise.
I have not failed to notice that Troy is the only one who does not wear a regulation Federation uniform.
Yeah, and it's like the worst. It's just her fucking camel toe outfit.
Like, maybe she should have the high collar.
Way late into the show, they finally put Deanna in like a Federation uniform, and she looks so much better. And you're just like, oh, we could have had this the whole time? We could have had this the whole time? It sucks. It's so fucked up.
There's a fun thing in Voyager, which I know Oats is the only one who's watched some of it as well. But early in that, Kate Mulgrew, who's playing Captain Janeway, she has her hair up in this bun or whatever. It's like it's kind of like imperious looking, very normal kind of haircut. And like 2 or 3 seasons in, I think she changes out to like a bob that looks a little bit more like, professional and like natural and whatever. And when she did an interview about it at some point after, it's like, yeah, well, the thing is, like, whenever I came in to go get that hair done for the thing, I'd have to come in like 3 hours before any of the other actors did, just for hair and makeup. And at a certain point, I just went, no, I'm fucking done. I'm coming in when everyone else is. You got to figure it out.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love Mulgrew. She's so funny.
What a winner.
She's so good.
But no, I'm really liking it. I go back and forth as to whether Riker, Geordi, or Data are my favorite characters. It depends on the episode.
That's fair. It's Data, by the way.
Data's great.
Data's the correct choice. I feel like Geordi is the closest to being the Ben character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Geordi is a Claire.
He's a good boy. Yeah, absolutely.
He is a very fun character. I really appreciate the episode that's about where the plot is Geordi falls in a hole.
Yeah.
He falls in a hole, and the problem is they can't get him out of the hole.
I love Geordi because he brings a particular kind of character to like the group dynamic that you don't actually see later in Voyager or in DS9, which is competent guy who is mostly there just to kind of watch everybody else and eat popcorn.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, that is true, because Geordi isn't too much of like a fuck up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He isn't like too much of a human catastrophe. He's kind of a human catastrophe.
Unless a girl gets involved.
Unless there's girls watching.
At least, yeah, because he has terrible luck with women. But yeah, no. Fucking TNG is a great show. I'm glad you're watching it, honestly.
I think it's very funny because I've done like some reading on like the plots for like the season 1 and 2 episodes, just so I'm like, if like they mentioned something like an event, and I'm like, was that an episode or is that like them listing off a random circumstance?
Sure.
And I love that by season 3, Riker has stopped being Captain Kirk, but sometimes the Captain Kirk follows him.
Yeah, well, that's actually funny because I want to say the first 3 seasons, it's either first 2 or the first 3 seasons of TNG are using old Roddenberry scripts from the original series. Right?
Really?
Funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like not every episode, but a lot of the episodes in the first like 2 to 3 seasons are using old Gene Roddenberry scripts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the show has such a weird character that it eventually grows out of, basically after Roddenberry dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like that's why kind of the tone and the nature of TNG changes so much as the show progresses, which I think is very funny.
Yeah,
I love Riker. He's just so fucking funny.
I love Riker.
He's so
I genuinely
great.
love Will Riker. I think he can be like a stone cold asshole sometimes that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's a fucking great show. Like, even though I think DS9 is the best one, the the TNG is also extremely good. Like, it's still great. I still cried like a baby when I finally watched the last episode because I was just so like, it's over.
That's also like the important reason why I always say the last episode is why I always say you have to at least watch the first episode, even if you don't watch like the first 2 seasons. You have to at least do the pilot.
Yeah, I have seen the pilot, so no worries. I had seen the pilot before I watched the last episode of TNG, so it's okay. So it all comes full circle and it's great. But
for those of you listening at home.
Yes.
The joy about the joy about TNG though is that it is infinitely rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, extremely.
Absolutely.
There is a reason why it was as heavily syndicated as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very funny watching this and realizing that much like Monkey Island, if I had watched Star Trek as a kid, I would be exactly where I am today.
Like, because like it's the thing about that I keep saying about More Than Meets the Eye is that like Ben really likes More Than Meets the Eye, right? It's a great comic. Everybody likes Transformers More Than Meets the Eye once you read it. And it's like, okay, well then I started watching Star Trek and I realized about a couple episodes in, I was like, hey, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. This is just fucking James Roberts' Star Trek fan fiction. That's it. That's all it is.
I can now, with 100% confidence, say that the plot of More Than Meets the Eye is, what if the Guardians of the Galaxy were the crew of the Starship Enterprise?
That's correct. Absolutely. It's just like, oh yeah, so the fact that you like More Than Meets the Eye is like, it was always a given that you were gonna like. You were gonna like Star Trek. It was just it was just a matter of time. You just had to start it, right?
And
it's the same writing, it's just that you have humans instead of giant robots that turn.
Right, exactly.
And you know, like vice versa for getting Saturn into like reading More Than Meets the Eye.
Yeah. Saturn likes Star Trek. They'll probably like More Than Meets the Eye. That's how that works.
Yeah, you were like, hey, I know it's Transformers, but it's basically just Star Trek, but there's more gay sex in it. And I'm like, well, all right.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there
Shucks,
you go.
You got me there.
Shucks, howdy.
Shucks, you twist my arm, why don't you?
I think one of my favorite parts about the 90s era Star Trek is, I mean, like, I will always sing praises about how much I like John Delancey's Q.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
I love, more than anything, that you don't know that it's a Q episode most of the time until after you see his name in the credits. And then you go, oh no.
Q
like, yeah, I just got the one where like the first 10 minutes were them like trying to stop the moon from falling onto a planet. And then Q just pops up butt ass naked, and I'm like, oh boy, it's a Q episode! I love him so much. It's like it's like, you know what it's exactly like? It's like when you're watching an episode of Columbo, and you're so invested in the murder plot that's unfolding that you forget you're watching Columbo until Columbo shows up.
Yeah. The whole reason that I probably, once I'm finally done with DS9, the entire reason I will almost certainly end up watching Voyager anyways, even though, like, I know it's kind of uneven, is because I know Q's in it a lot. And I'm like, you know what? I want to see more Q.
He like, in a similar vein to how, like, how O'Brien kind of just becomes a character in like spins out into DS9 becoming, oh fuck, like that's actually a main character now.
Right.
They do the same with John Delancey.
Oh great, love that.
I think it's also like, despite Voyager's reputation, I think if you just go into it, like, this show's going to be really dumb, and I will say it's probably the most episodic of like those big 3 Star Trek series in terms of like, there is an A plot and there are beats that happen in the A plot, but it is like exclusive. It is almost exclusively season capstone stuff that does it. A lot of the episodes are just episodic, and a lot of them are really, really bizarre and ill-considered sometimes, but in ways that are kind of delightful and strange.
It is very much like a harken back to the golden age of 60s sci-fi, where it's just like original series episodes.
Right.
They're all so stupid.
Oh, good.
My least favorite part, though, is realizing very early on, and then finding out, reading up on it, the second in command character, Chakotay, is an Italian man playing a Native American character.
That's right.
Who has a Native American consultant explaining to him how to act culturally to be a more sensitive character. Are you ready for this? Said consultant is a white dude who has no idea what he's talking about.
That's right.
That's right, babe. It was the 90s.
It was the 90s, and you know what? It's okay. Chakotay is a character that you will not spend a whole lot of time thinking about anyway.
He's really fun because his entire character is just like him hanging out with the captain, going like, "Hey, do you want to have like a spirit journey or some shit? It'd be good for your health." And she's like, "No, that sounds barbaric. I want in."
Janeway just sounds like a character who was written only for me.
She is a Retica if there ever was one.
When I have described her as like she's a Sara PC but a middle-aged woman, like I mean it completely. She's a Sara PC but a middle-aged woman.
I'm excited. I'm excited to eventually get to Voyager because the only knowledge I have of Captain Janeway for Voyager is the episode of MST3K where Mike goes insane and thinks he's Janeway. And tries to steer the satellite into like a star.
I feel the need to stress. If my memory serves, it's been a few years since I've seen Voyager. I think she willingly violates the Prime Directive in literally the first episode of Voyager.
Yeah,
excellent.
You can describe so like the three main captains of those three series go about the Prime Directive in different ways. Mm-hmm. Picard goes, "I am reluctant to do this, but after a series of circumstances forced my hand to break the Prime Directive. I am already in it, and I'm going to resolve this as safely and as healthily as possible for everybody involved."
Right, he's the adult in the room.
He is the adult in the room. He's very kind. He's very understanding.
Sure.
We go over to Cisco, and he's like, "Fuck the Prime Directive," and shoots a guy.
I love him. He's the best captain.
He's like, "Oh, I follow the Prime Directive all the time," he says while violating the Prime Directive.
Yeah. And then we go to Janeway, and she goes with, and you need to read this with as much Retica in her as possible. "We are better than this. We are not here to break the Prime Directive." She lifts her head nose high, very smug about it, and then immediately turns around and says, "Okay, let's do it."
I love her so. Yeah, like I think Cisco is the best captain. Just in terms of like as a whole package, right?
Sure.
Janeway to me is the most fun captain.
She is. I buy that.
I'm always excited to see what Janeway is doing in a particular situation because it's never what you would want your captain to do.
Great.
She is an absolute mess of a character, but she clearly earned her spot as a captain.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I'm absolutely delighted. There's so much I can say about the Next Generation that I really appreciate. I love how smart everyone is.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's really great for these characters to, like, you're in a delicate position where you have to have these characters who should by all means be incredibly competent at their jobs, right?
Sure.
But you still have to have them get in conflicts, right?
Right.
They're really, really good at writing conflicts where no one is like, well, you should have thought of that.
Right. It's not like people taking turns with the idiot ball, as they say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like, oh, well, yeah, this conflict comes up and the struggle is that, well, we have protocols for this situation, but something is failing. Like the ship is failing. Something's going wrong. Right. We need to work a way around it. Like they're really good at keeping everyone competent and smart and like knowing how to manage a starship of this caliber.
Right. Yeah.
Well, because I think part of why they pull that off, Ben, and I don't know if you've ever heard this little tidbit, but it's like just a thing that's like from the like production side, right? Where they're talking about like the logistics of writing the show. Part of the way they write the show is that they're under the assumption that if you see an episode of like any Star Trek show, of like just like any given episode, it is like a top 1% or top 5% most hectic day. There's like 95% just normal ass ship days that are just completely not in an episode because you wouldn't want to. So it's like we can get around it. So it's like they can get around having all these episodes, like, well, the crew's competent and very good. It's just that, like, most of the time they have it under control and it's not interesting TV.
Right.
And I think that's interesting because I think the rule, at least, I don't know how it works for Voyager, but I do know on TNG and Deep Space Nine, the rule is that one season is 1 year, right? So, like, you have to do, most of the time, life on the Enterprise or on Deep Space Nine is totally normal. It's fine, right?
I think it's
great.
the same for Voyager. I believe it's also about a season a year.
It is.
Okay, cool.
One last thing I have to say about that is that I love the Ferengis. They're great. I can't wait to see more of them.
Oh God, not to keep singing its praises, but Deep Space Nine is the Ferengi show, and they kick ass. They're some of the best characters on the show.
My favorite thing about this, Ben, is that you need to understand, obviously, you've probably picked up on it, Ferengi are supposed to be read as Space Americans.
Yeah,
they are the worst. They are the worst of what we can conceive of our own culture.
They're perfect.
They get so much worse as time goes on.
Good.
So here's also a funny thing. So one of the original Ferengi in like the first episode they show up in is played by Armin Shimmerman, who plays Quark in DS9 and also plays a guy in Starfield and is completely wasted. That's neither here nor there.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But he actually has a very funny thing where like it isn't Armin Shimmerman actually. It's if it's not Armin Shimmerman, it's the guy who plays Neelix in Voyager, plays one of the first Ferengi that shows up, I think. And part of his thing is like his greatest regret is doing that bit character first, like Ferengi in that first episode, because he's like the Ferengi, and he's like, I was like, why do you like regret it so much? He's like, well, the Ferengi were supposed to be equivalent to as imposing or threatening as the oh my god, blanking on the name.
The Klingon or the Borg?
The Klingon.
Romulan?
They're supposed to be the new Klingons to a certain extent. And he's like, I blame it on my performance that they became the butt of the joke. And it's like, there's only so much you can do with that facial prosthetic.
Yeah, man. You can only do so much when you're supposed to be like little guys with the goofiest facial prosthetics you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, no, man. You did great. And genuinely, like, the progression you see of Ferengi characters on Deep Space Nine, again, it's the best one, like, makes their goofiness in TNG, like, so worth it. It all comes around, and, like, it all comes home. And there are certain parts later on where, like, certain, like, because of the context of, like, all of the previous stuff that you've watched before, certain, like, plot and character beats hit so hard. You're just like, my god, we've come so far. It's great. It's fantastic. Star Trek owns. I'm sorry. It's
Star Trek's
good.
really good. I'm excited to when we're done recording to watch another episode of Star Trek.
The thing about Star Trek that I know we've been talking for a long time. We need to do the news.
Keep talking.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
The thing about Star Trek that is like probably the biggest bummer of them all is that they literally don't make them like this anymore.
I know.
No, they don't.
Like,
that's
Picard
like
sucks so much ass. Discovery sucks so much ass. I hate it.
And they literally, like, it's not just that, like, Discovery is bad. It's not that Picard is bad. They are. Make no mistake. But it's also that, like, when you say, I'm going to start watching 90s Star Trek, do you know how much goddamn TV you get to watch?
There's 7 seasons of 26 episodes each.
Of 3 different series.
And all those episodes are 45 fucking minutes long.
There's so much
TV. Oh my god. And then it's like, okay, so let's say, hypothetically, you go through all of Star Trek in your human life, right? You watch all of TNG, DS9, and Voyager. And you're like, well, I want to watch more 90s sci-fi. You have so much TV to choose from!
You can switch to...
You have all of Babylon 5, you have all of Farscape, you have all of the X-Files, you have all of Stargate, which is a great show. Like, all of those shows also got, like, 6 to 8 seasons of 26 episodes. Like, you have so much TV that you could watch. And, like...
What happened?
The death of cable.
The death of cable.
Yeah.
The death of cable.
The economy is in shambles.
Like, the only...
The TV economy is in shambles.
I'm gonna check something real quick here. Because I know Picard is like 6 episode seasons, right? Like
yes, it's pathetic.
And like same with like Discovery, right?
Discovery is also extremely short seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. How many episodes per season does Lower Decks have?
I think it's like
12.
Like
I think.
12.
The
13?
average animated thing, so 12 to 13.
Which is still, but I mean, they're
it's still
short,
even
it's
that is
animated.
like. Oh, they're 10 episodes each.
Oh, but they're also only 22 minutes long because it's animated runtime instead, right? I know that the Lower Decks is apparently really good. Everybody says Lower Decks is really good, so I'll probably also watch it. It also apparently has a lot of Deep Space Nine references, which is why I'm going to watch it.
It has, I know this for a fact, a recurring minor character who is from the same race as those guys that Picard runs into. Shakar when the walls fell.
Oh,
I can't remember their names.
The Darmok guys. Yeah.
There's a recurring character who is just that guy, just hanging out in the background.
Oh, that owns. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
That actually reminded me, there's one bit of my week I'm going to cut into here real quick, and then we can skip past it. I watched the first 3 episodes of My Adventures of Superman. That show's pretty good.
Yay!
Oh, yay!
It's really good.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's fun. The Lois Lane really is just a Juno. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Great. Oh,
Peanut.
Hold on.
Even Peanut is excited about My Adventures of Superman.
Yeah.
My goodness, never ends around here. $10 a month, you too can see pictures of these animals that make so much noise on every single episode of the podcast.
You think he sounds loud and aggressive, but then you see him and you see that he's just a sad little boy.
He's just the saddest, fattest little boy you ever did see in your life.
He is the most peanut you'll ever nut.
It's true. I mean, you look at him and all you can say is, my God, that truly is a peanut. That's what you are, buddy.
You're not right, Peanut.
It's
You're
right.
Peanut.
Oh my goodness. Anyways.
Anyway, that's about
anything else?
That's about all I have to say
Okay.
for now. I'll give you more updates as I progress further and further through Next Generation.
Sounds good.
Hey.
So the news: the next secret lair for Magic the Gathering stars Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That makes sense. That's where you would want to go, right? With your your Magic the Gathering, cameo or whatever your license sets. You do Monty Python.
That's an acceptable cameo tie-in thing. Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely going to be a card that's just called Romanus Ant Domus, and it returns the monster to the opponent's hand.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There is Bring Out Your Dead. Search your library for up to 3 creature cards, put them in your graveyard, then shuffle.
Oh. That makes sense.
And there's the African Swallow. There's the European Swallow. Both of them are tap to add 1 mana of any color. That's pretty good, actually.
These crossover cards are also not, I think, are broadly not tournament legal on account of being widely overpowered.
Well, I mean, it depends. A lot of the secret lair ones I think are not tournament legal, but a lot of because I played with the Fallout deck recently. A lot of the cards in those decks are just reskins of cards that already exist.
I thought the crossover things were the secret lair things. I didn't realize they were separate.
They might be. Let me click on this to make sure.
I played Magic once, 11 plus years ago. So my direct knowledge hither or thither is limited.
Yeah, my only knowledge of Magic the Gathering is that Phil and Kaya Folio of Girl Genius fame famously did a bunch of them in the early 90s. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know much about the legality of them, but I know that a lot of cards in the Fallout set are just reskins of cards that already existed. That are just they change the art and the flavor text to be Fallout themed. So I'm assuming a lot of them are kind of the same here. You just you would rename them or rebalance them, but I wouldn't expect that they're gimmicks. They're for fun. I wouldn't expect to see these in a tournament anyway.
Oh, the Secret Lair X Monty Python is completely sold out, by the way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, next, video game voice actors are going on strike over AI.
Good. More power
to
Shocker.
Good.
I hope they go on strike and fucking ruin them, because that's exactly what they should do. Fuck this AI shit. You know.
This is exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Fortunately, it seems like this AI thing is a.
That bubble is starting to
that
burn.
bubble's popping really hard.
Oh yeah,
it's
they're getting desperate.
Yeah. It's hard to sustain a bubble when it keeps coming out that, like, none of these businesses turn anything remotely resembling an operating profit.
Yeah.
They can't, because, like, the thing is that AI is so energy intensive. It's so cost intensive. Like, the problem is that eventually, nobody's gotten it in front of a federal judge yet, but the first time you get it in front of a judge who understands that it's a giant plagiarism machine, you have a huge problem there. You're already going to have a problem with it in, like, the EU, almost certainly, especially because of, like, countries like France and shit, who are very protective of, like, copyright and artist shit, will be like, mais non.
You might have been able to get away with it in America. There's a high chance, but
no.
Not in the EU. Not in the EU at all.
And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. Like, once you realize that, like, it's, like, the data sets are just full to the teeth with nothing but copyrighted stuff. And, like, if you make... Like, sure, I'm sure AI will keep existing in some capacity, but it's going to be one of those, like, you can't make money off of it. Like, you still got to have, like, if you're going to have AI shit in your shit, you still got have to have a human on staff who's going to change enough of it to make it, like, you have to change it by, like, 20% is, like, the legal, like, kind of the way it works, right? To get to get out of a plagiarism thing. So it's like, you got to have a human on staff to do that anyways, so you might as well just keep people on staff, right? Like, yeah,
and if you want a machine that's going to plagiarize something but then change it by 20%, so it's like we have those already. They're called people.
Yeah, they're called people, exactly. Yeah, well, it's called the t-shirt industry.
If you read a visual novel and go, hey, this is kind of like Fate Stay Night a little bit. I mean, it's not Fate Stay Night, but you can tell the person who's reading this has read Fate Stay Night. That's the human plagiarism machine changing Fate Stay Night by 20%.
That's right. That's the 20%, making it into something new and unique. Yeah,
it all leads back to Shakespeare working over Picasso.
That's right. Sometimes both. It's like a huge bubble that's gonna pop, and so, like, the sooner we just, run them out of town on a rail, the better, right?
Yeah. Next, Persona 5, the Phantom X future plans, collaborations, console version, and international release.
The thing is, right,
When did Persona 5 come out?
Oh god,
2016.
It's been almost 10 years.
I think it was 2017, I believe. I believe it was 2017.
It's a fucking long time ago.
No, because I don't think it was... I think it was 2016, because it wasn't the same year as Nier and all them, right?
It was a year before that.
No. I'm pretty sure it was 2017, because it was it came out after I started dating Al. Yeah, worldwide April 2017.
Okay.
Came out in 2016 in Japan on PlayStation.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's the confusion.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I have two thoughts about this. One, I'm actually kind of excited because I think those designs fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good. Like, all the designs in this mobile game are, like, really good. And then two, it's funny to have a Persona 5 mobile game when Persona 5 famously kills every other mobile game. So, like,
well,
is it just extremely protected, or is it super doomed?
Well, they can't kill their own game. Like, you can't have Joker cameo in a mobile game that is his game.
Well, I think we're overlooking the obvious thing, which is that it is not a mobile game; it's a vampire, and it has enfattened itself on the blood of other mobile games so it can have its own vitality.
Right,
I see.
I see. That makes sense.
I think it'd be really funny if it was Dead on Arrival, like that Final Fantasy VII one that came out last year.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my thought.
I think it would be funny, or that one mobile game that came out that was like a fucking Love mobile game, and it shut down at 6 hours after it came out.
Yeah, that sounds about right for a mobile game. I think the Persona 5 mobile game should be obligate to have crossovers with all the mobile games it's killed.
Contractually obligated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the fucking spirits that visit Ebenezer Scrooge.
They're gonna have the world's first mobile game that has both Nier and Dragalia Lost characters in it.
That's right. It's the only way you're gonna be able to see them anymore. Oh man. But no, I think that game. I mean, I like all those designs. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but I think all the designs are really good, so it's fine.
It's a Sega mobile game. Yeah, there's not much like that. That bar is below the ground.
Yeah, the problem is that like I've been kind of spoiled by FGO, which is not like very good in like it's modern. Like in terms of modernization, FGO is a fucking dinosaur. But also FGO is just like we've got the one currency.
Yeah, when I open FGO, I'm not slapped in the face with 5 banners like advertising buying 5 different kinds of currency.
Right. It's just like we have the one, go roll on it. That's all you get. You got friend points and they're useless. Otherwise, just roll Saint Quartz. That's it. And so it's like every time I go play another game, it's like, what is all this shit?
You got friend points there for using twice a year.
That's exactly it.
You're rolling for Nabu coin or you're rolling for a different, like, weird limited 1-star. That's it. Hope you get Hunger Mine, you fuckhead.
And I hope you get your Saber Lily and your Happy Cats. But like otherwise, no, you don't spend the friend points. It's just Saint Quartz. And then I go play like Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. I tried to play Ever Crisis. Don't play Ever Crisis. I tried to play it and it was awful. I was just so bogged down by stupid shit on every side. I was like, you know what? I'm good actually.
I'm good. We'll see what this. I guess we'll see. You know, console version sounds enticing. But
anything's possible.
Next, Evo 2024. All the big reveals and announcements. So Evo happened. It was fun. Love watching Evo. Tuning into that. Go down the list of cool announcements here. Somehow, Heihachi has returned.
Literally, like Emperor
Palpatine.
I will pretend to be shocked.
I've seen all the fucking tweets of Raven working at McDonald's after fucking up the announcement that Heihachi's dead.
I mean, like, I knew it was the moment I saw M. Bison come back, I was like, oh yeah, so this means Heihachi's back. Like, yeah. It's just like in comic books, where the moment they brought back Barry Allen, everything was off the table.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter anymore.
It's just very funny because like Reina existed to replace Heihachi. Like she has his moveset, right? Like that was the idea. And then they're just like, nah, Heihachi's coming back too. We're gonna put Heihachi back in the game. And after Harada said like, no, Heihachi's dead. He's never coming back.
Sometimes you just lie.
Sometimes you just lie for money. What are you gonna do? Not put Heihachi in your Tekken? What? No, he's got to be there.
I remember when that article about whenever Madoka Magica was coming out originally, and everyone was concerned that Urabochi was attached as a writer, and he's like, "Nah, guys, it'll be cool. Like it's gonna be a normal magical girl show." And then episode 3 ends. And that poor girl gets her head cut off, and then everyone's like, Urabochi, and he's like, whoopsie.
You got me. Yeah, I know it's fucked up. So you know what this means though. You know, they got that Garo sequel coming out. There's only one character left to come back from the dead.
You'll have to remind me.
If we get the holy trinity of Bison coming back, Heihachi coming back, and Geese Howard coming back.
Oh.
Because that man has been dead for a while.
Like I said, they brought back Bison, which means like
anything's possible.
It's like bringing back Barry Allen. Everything is okay. Bucky Barnes is back. Sure, fine. Why not? Yeah. He's been dead for 40 years. No, he's all right.
No, we're bringing him back. It's fine. Shut
up. Remember when it used to be, there's only 3 people who can't come back, and it's Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy, and Bucky Barnes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's down to 1.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I think Uncle Ben's probably gonna stay dead forever.
Yeah, God willing. Then we also had first look at Terry Bogard in Street Fighter 6. He looks really cool. I think he should have had his Garo outfit.
Yeah.
I don't think the Street Fighter, like, the RE engine looks really good for the most part. I don't think Terry looks good in it. I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't think he looks good in it.
I think he looks like he's from the PS3, which feels fitting to me.
He literally came from the budget dimension.
Yeah.
Came from the budget dimension.
The video is cool because like there's a crowd watching the fight, and one of them is dressed like Blue Mary and like other like Fatal Fury characters, which is really cool.
I just love the idea of Ryu like, hey buddy, welcome to Street Fighter. How are you feeling? And Terry Bogard's just like slowly clutching and unclutching his hand. He's like, I've never had this many triangles in my life. You live like this? That's right, Terry.
That's right, Terry. Your eyebrows can move.
They can. Oh my god.
I haven't felt like this since I was a sprite.
Nonsense. No. Remember that time we were in Smash Brothers Ultimate? like a Peter Griffin like cutaway guy.
Yeah. I love the post I saw that was like, no. Terry and Mai being in Street Fighter are not guest characters. That's like your cousin.
Yeah. You're having your cousin
that's
open for
family.
Christmas. Yeah.
You can't call your aunt and uncle friends of your mom. Like,
no. These are relatives. Like this is a family reunion.
Yeah.
This is Guilty Gear Strive Season Pass.
I'm excited to see Dizzy, my sweet girl.
Is Dizzy, and then surprisingly, they're getting their guest character, who is Lucy from Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
That's right.
That's a very funny pull.
Yeah.
I guess because Lucy has a very fighting, gamey kind of like thing. But like, so does Rebecca. You should have just put in Rebecca.
They already have a green gun guy.
Yeah.
So they couldn't put Rebecca in.
I know.
But she has the fist thing.
She's got the big fists and she's got a gun. Like, she has a lot of, it's fine.
I think they should have done both, because like I get why they chose Lucy, because like if you go by what she would have is Cyberpunk 2077 stuff, it's like, oh, she has the monowire and all the stick monowire stuff, and then she has hacker stuff, so she gets spells and like projectiles and like weird territory control stuff and whatever. So it's like they probably just picked her based on moveset, but also you should have put Rebecca in there. She has Guilty Gear energy.
She's got the right vibes as a Guilty Gear character. I mean, look at her; she's perfect. So
her design, if like in a vacuum, you would assume she's from Guilty Gear before assuming that she was from
Cyberpunk character. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. You should have just done both. You should have just
you should have just done both. They should have been a tag team.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It should have been Rebecca, and it should have been that she got isekai'd to Guilty Gear, and now she is just a Guilty Gear character, and that's her happy ending.
There you go.
So that nobody has to be mad about the way Edge Runners ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just put her in Guilty Gear from now on. She just gets to be a Guilty Gear character.
There's like a public press release where Cyberpunk, where CD Projekt Red gives Arc System the rights to Rebecca Edge Runners, so that she can show up in future Guilty Gear things as a Guilty Gear character. Like that's buying an adoptable off Fur Affinity.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, since it's relevant to today, rest in
peace to a real hero.
Yeah. Peace, dude. Oh yeah, pour one out.
Yeah, Dragoneer, that's his name.
He died last night or this morning.
Yeah, the owner of tragically the owner of Fur Affinity died like Oats said last night or this morning.
Very suddenly and unexpectedly is my understanding based on what other people have said.
After getting jerked around by the U.S. Healthcare system, surprising no one. So
right.
Yep. Happened to a friend of mine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Going down the list here, Samurai Jack and Beetlejuice are multiverses. Beetlejuice has one of the worst designs I've ever seen.
That thing is hideous.
I haven't seen it. Wait.
It's really, really bad, and it's surprising because Beetlejuice already has a really good cartoon design.
We can't use that one though. We can't use that one though because everyone knows the urban legend about why his fingers are red is real.
In God's name, I looking at?
It's like Fortnite skin derogatory.
Yeah, he just
so bad.
He looks like a really shitty Joker costume, like a Party City joke, like Party City Joke Man.
No,
like why
just
even
use
bother?
The cartoon design.
Yeah.
Just use the cartoon design. Whatever.
King of Fighters 15 is adding characters that I don't know about because I don't know a lot about King of Fighters. They are porting SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos to modern platforms, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then Saturn, you'll care about this. They're adding the guy that looks like if Cell and Frieza fused together to Hunter x Hunter Net Impact.
Yeah, he's in the starting roster. Meruem.
Yeah.
I'm sadly, as I've said, game's dead on arrival because Neferpitou isn't in the starting roster.
No, yeah,
it's very obvious that she's going to be like a fucking Wave 1 DLC character or something. But my interest in that game is zero until they put Neferpitou in because I'm very shallow.
Understandable. Next, every major announcement from San Diego Comic-Con 2024. The only thing
we have to talk about the Robert Downey Jr. thing. It's so stupid.
It's never been dumber.
This is the worst announcement.
Stupid.
Ben, I gotta tell you, Twitter broke such that it refused to let me just do my follow tab and only showed me For You stuff, and it was just everyone reacting about it.
It's so
I'm
stupid.
done listening to it.
It's so bad. It's so stupid.
It's incredible.
The only thing that was worth it, I saw the meme of RDJ like pointing at himself, and it was the Fantastic Four outside my window, outside my house.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I was like relatively interested in that movie because I really liked the poster design, right? Like I saw the poster and it was doing the whole 1960s like retro future, like, you know, home of the future, kind of Fallout-y looking shit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
we all play Fallout. We love that shit.
we love futurism.
That shit up.
It's great.
We love a good retro futurism. It's fantastic. So I was like excited because it was like, oh, this is perfect. I love Pedro Pascal, you know. And then they did this. I'm like, oh, I don't care anymore. Okay.
Well, good news, Sarah, on that front. Doom is not the villain in that movie.
Well, then what the fuck is he?
He's the villain in the Avengers movie.
What?
You know, Doom, that famous Avengers villain.
That's it, Ben. You have only made it worse. That does not actually make me feel.
No, what
better.
I mean is that now you
confused.
can watch Fantastic Four and be like, that was a good movie. Goodbye.
That's right. I probably will still do that at some point, just maybe not in theaters now.
Yeah. Because there was
I'm just like, what? The who? What? Okay, sure.
What blackmail does RDJ have on the studio executives that he's like, you're gonna put me back in? And they're like, well, we can't. We killed your characters. Like, you're gonna make me another.
Yeah, no. This is the other way. This is definitely Marvel driving a dump truck full of money up to RDJ's house, being like, please be in our movies again. And he's like, but I died. And they're like, no, Dr. Doom didn't die.
Because like the thing is that like nobody, like Marvel is extremely like on the way out. Like nobody gives a shit about these movies anymore, right? Like nobody's really going to see them as much anymore. Nobody's talking about them as much anymore, right? They all look cheap and bad, and nobody really likes them anymore, right? And so they're just gunning off the fact that everybody still likes Robert Downey Jr. in Marvel movies, right? You like that, don't you? They're paying him $80 million.
$80 million.
That's insane. They're paying him $80 million to be the villain in an Avengers movie. That thing that Doctor Doom is not a thing a part of.
No.
That is not a Doctor Doom thing.
Do you think about how many full movies you could make for $80 million?
Oh my god, imagine how many Hardcore Henrys we could make with $80 million.
I know.
like probably 80 million hardcore Henrys now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, easily.
If you just shoot them all at the same time and like reuse the sex between them, you can definitely make that stretch.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Fools. Doom toots as he pleases.
I think because like the only way you can make this work is if he never takes off his mask, because he's fucking Dr. Doom.
He's fucking but they're not going to spend $80 million for Robert Downey Jr.'s face to not show it, right?
Imagine how funny it would be if they did, though.
It actually would be pretty funny.
Like, it's just a marketing thing of, like,
that.
you know it's Robert Downey Jr., but they never show it, and he sounds just like Robert Downey Jr. He's probably doing, like, a bad Eastern European accent as Robert Downey Jr., but it's Robert Downey Jr. You never see his face, and they spent $80 million on this guy just so that you know it's Robert Downey Jr.
Look, if you're gonna hire Vin Diesel to go into a booth and go, "I'm Groot" for 3 entire movies,
right?
You can get away with not showing Robert Downey Jr.'s face.
What's the name of the Hellboy actor again?
You mean Ron Perlman?
Ron Perlman. It's like how they fucking got Ron Perlman to play Deathstroke in Teen Titans. Just like, yeah, you know what? Get him to do that. You never even see his face, but you just get Ron Perlman playing that guy. It's like, all right.
That's the only way it'll work.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
But cool thing they did though at Comic-Con is they brought a flying car out on stage to promote Fantastic Four.
Oh, that's fun.
Like, they had a car that just like flew out, like it flew.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool. And then the rest of it is just some dumb announcements here, but we did get the Year 2 DLC for Mortal Kombat 1. They're adding Ghostface.
Sure.
So I don't know. I don't watch a lot of horror movies, obviously, but as far as I know, Ghostface is just a guy, right?
Ghostface is just a guy. Didn't we watch Scream for Takeout?
Yeah, we did.
No,
not for Takeout. That was for the Halloween thing.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there for that.
Yeah. We did every weekend we did a Halloween thing. Join the Discord, by the way. We do stuff like that every now and then.
Yeah. We're playing Riven right now. We'll see how successful it is.
But yeah, you're out. Okay, you're out of horror villains now. Okay, if you're at Ghostface, you're out. You're done.
You're out of horror villains. You're done. There's no more.
You used them all up.
No more horror villains.
Unless we use the knockoff Ghostface from Scary Movie.
My suggestion is that you put the Skinamarink phone in from Skinamarink.
No. What you need to do at this point is you need to roll what's left into one character slot, right?
Okay.
So what you need is Chucky standing on the leprechaun's shoulders, wielding the phone from Skinamarink.
I see. I fuck with it. Yeah.
I like that one. My immediate other thought was, they could go even further beyond and do an entire DLC pack released all at the same time, and the Universal monsters.
I like
the Black Lagoon kicking
beating
the shit out of Raiden.
Yeah. I think it's crazy that we haven't had Chucky in a fighting game yet. I know why. It's because he's small, tiny hitbox. My suggestion: it's just Chucky standing on the shoulders of Bride of Chucky.
Yeah. Look. You put Yoda in a fucking Soul Calibur.
Yeah, and it was bad.
And NecoArc's in Melty Blood.
That's true.
Yeah, you could get away with putting Chucky in Mortal Kombat.
All right, that's fair. He's just not tournament legal. That's fair.
Yeah. The rest of the DLC pack are Cyrax and Sector, who are girls in this timeline, which is pretty cool.
That's fun.
Oh, they're finally FGOing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Noob Saibot's back. They're adding the T-1000 from Judgment Day.
Okay.
And finally, Conan the Barbarian.
It'll never happen because of the tastes of Mortal Kombat's player base are inexplicable to me. But they should just put Miyamoto Musashi FGO in Mortal Kombat. I think she'd have a great time.
No, absolutely. absolutely. I think she should be allowed to do a fatality.
She would look at Raiden, hear his name, and go, "Oh, I'm really offended by this," and just leave.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I think if you're good,
so
I think because part of the thing about Mortal Kombat is it has to be someone that you don't mind seeing disemboweled, so it should be Columbus.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair, actually. Yeah, I don't want to see anything bad happen to Musashi.
It should be Qin Shi Huang because he's got robo-guts.
Oh yeah, that's
there you go.
He's just got like fucking like mercury guts. It's fine.
And he's also like, rule all of Earthrealm. Well, I love the sound of that.
Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if we do.
The other thing they're adding to this is animalities are back.
What's that?
What is an animality?
From Mortal Kombat 3, that you turn into an animal and you kill your opponent.
Oh,
it's
that's
their
fun.
themed fatality.
They should, Ed Boon, here's a suggestion for you. This one's free. Just put my name in the credits if you use it. You should add something called Fortalities, which is you do a fatality and it turns a character into like a Fortnite skinned version of yourself. And that's
Yeah, okay.
No, Scorpion, don't turn me into a marketable plushie. Next, Olympics reportedly dropped Mario and Sonic games in favor of mobile NFTs.
That sounds like something the Olympics would do, yeah.
That sounds like
something the IOC would do, yeah, for sure.
That sounds like a really successful idea that I'm sure will work perfectly.
Oh yeah, for sure. You'll make
You
a lot of money off of that. Nobody buys anymore.
Yeah, you know what's popular right now is NFTs.
Oh,
You know what's absolutely been dipping in popularity lately is Mario and Sonic.
Yeah. Very funny. But I mean, like, yeah, the IOC loves making like fucking bird-brained ideas, like, or decisions like that. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe this will pave the way for an actual Mario and Sonic like real video game.
I would like that.
Yeah.
It would be cool if it did, but it won't because one of the players in that court has significantly more budget bargaining power than the other one.
Yeah, that's for fucking sure.
It's time for the bad news hole.
No. Yippee!
Bungie announces mass layoffs less than 2 months after Destiny 2, the Final Shapes launch.
After the most successful launch they've had in years and years and years and years.
Cool.
Yeah.
The things I would say about Pete Parsons would get me on like a federal watch list, so I'm just gonna at least say, hey, you know who my suggestion's gonna be for our usual end of episode bit.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pete Parsons sure has a lot of cars now.
No, it's one of those galling things is that somebody literally got on Twitter, somebody who just got fired, and was like, yeah, Pete Parsons was showing me his new car the other day, like as like just like 2 weeks before I got fired.
Yeah, like the day before I got laid off. He's like, look at my new cars.
It's so galling. And then of course he does the coward shit of locking his Twitter because he can't stand having his fifis hurt, right?
Right.
I forget where the specific figure comes from. I have heard that apparently people were digging around, and in the last year, he spent something like $2.1 million on vintage cars.
That's amazing. Fantastic. So cool.
Anyway, now he has all these vintage cars, he should like get them all in his big garage and like lock all the doors and windows and close them and just start running them all at idle and just hang out for a while. I think
and then just enjoy his cars for a while. Yeah.
Sounds like somebody needs to feel the fear of the doohickey that did in Shinzo Abe.
I would. You know what? Put the doohickey in Destiny 2.
Well, there'd have to be employees at Bungie to do
that. That's true. You know what? We can't do that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just extremely galling, of course. Again, unionize. I think there's a reason that that all of Bethesda unionized. They're like,
yeah,
we see what's coming. We're gonna get out ahead of it.
Everyone at Bethesda looked at each other like, and they were like, "Hey guys, it just occurred to me. We work for Microsoft," and they all went, "Oh fuck!
Oh shit! That's right!
Oh shit! Oh no!"
They walk in the building and see like the big Microsoft sign in the walls and went, hey, wait a minute, we should do something about that.
Something. Yeah. No, it's extremely evil. It's super galling. They announced Ready at Dawn got closed today. You know, we're already at like 11,000 layoffs this year. It's insane. It's such a bad time to just even be in video games. I'm extremely glad I dropped out of college.
Boy, I'm sure glad I did really bad in college and decided not to pursue my dream of making video games.
I'm glad I had the moment when I was in like high school where I'm like, wow, I'm fucking bad at math.
I'm never making video games.
I mean, I was talking to my, when I got diagnosed with not diagnosed, when I got my prescription for ADHD medication, I talked to my therapist about it and like, oh yeah, the reason that you were so inattentive in school and like didn't focus and do anything is because your ADHD. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, huh, that saved me, didn't it?
Otherwise, you'd be making video games right now and you wouldn't have a job. You'd just be miserable.
You'd work 70 hours a week and then get fired after the game comes out.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's like you make a successful game, you get closed. You make an unsuccessful game, you get closed. Like, what? There's nothing you can do to win. Like, it's really incredible. I don't think Pete Parsons should be allowed to show his face in, like, polite society ever again. But we let what's-his-face from Microsoft get away with it, so, it just is what it is, I guess. It fucking sucks. It sucks.
And next, our 33-year legacy deserves a genuine goodbye. Game Informer staff tweets one last goodbye after all their work was deleted. Then GameStop nukes the account from orbit.
Again, I 100% believe that I don't think that Game Informer was hemorrhaging money. I don't have anything, like, I don't have numbers to prove it. But if you told me that Game Informer was like, it didn't turn a profit, but it broke even every year, I would believe you, because like it's small. It's they basically coast by off of kind of being made to. If you want your GameStop card, you also have to sign up for Game Informer, right?
Right.
So it's a small staff. They were probably breaking even, and they were just doing a lot of like pretty good like work. Just doing their thing. They had the exclusive rights to the Veilguard promotion shit. And now they don't exist anymore, so I'm sure the guys at BioWare are shitting their pants. Like, all of those interviews, all of that promo stuff is just gone now, which is insane.
I'm sure they're very happy about that.
I mean, yeah, because it's like the GameStop is a company run by, like, one asshole dude bro who's just trying to do like Silicon Valley shit, but for like a video game retailer, right? Like, Ryan Cohen is one of the dumbest men on the planet, and just probably closed Game Informer just to save like the equivalent of a handful of pennies, right? Like, Game Informer was not costing that company millions and millions of dollars a year. If it was costing GameStop anything, it was probably negligible at best, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's extremely galling. Game Informer has been around for 30 something years, and now they're gone, and you like can't even access all the old like archives or anything, which is it was just amazing. It's just amazing. So yeah. And then of course, like as somebody pointed out, as the guys who did get fired pointed out, they almost certainly wrote like the one that didn't get the tweet that got the Twitter deleted, the actual like the thing informing the people that like Game Informer was being shut down, almost certainly written by AI, because it's super generic and like totally soulless.
Yeah.
And then they're just gonna put that out of business and then actually just shut the magazine down. Even though like Game Informer has always had like really cool stuff. They do like great covers. That's like the thing they've always been super proud of, is that they do like really beautiful covers for every issue. And yeah, they just get shit canned like that. It's like, oh, I see. All right.
There's no way Game Informer was doing worse than GameStop itself.
No.
Like
there's no way.
Like GameStop shut this down to save their own skin.
Their operating costs had to be fucking negligible. Like, how many people are even on staff at
13.
Game Informer? Like 13 people for a whole magazine.
Yeah.
Which is a skeleton crew, by the way, for a monthly magazine.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but magazine writers don't get paid that much.
Right, no, for sure.
Like, they don't get paid that much. It's 13 people. I mean, back in the days when print media was, like, a thing, a magazine staff could be, like, 30 to 40 people, right? So, like, no, you've got, like, this teeny tiny staff, like, putting out this magazine literally monthly. I mean, if their operating costs were more than $2 million a year, I'd be fucking stunned. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they just shut this, I mean, they basically shut it down to save pennies. And,
right.
And you can't even access the archives anymore. It's galling. It's horrible.
Yeah, just disgusting. Let's get some fun things to round this episode out.
Alright, cool. Get me out of the bad news hole.
2 years and 800 hours later, solo FF14 grinder finally completes one of the MMO's most punishing challenges, immediately starts another run that's just as bad.
Sounds like spider cider behavior.
A player named Aurora Moon beat Palace of the Dead as a conjurer.
Oh, that's right. I heard about this. Not a white mage, a conjurer.
Yeah.
That's
a
psychotic.
Conjurer.
Okay. That is psychotic. Okay.
Palace of the Dead goes up to level 60, I believe.
That's correct.
Yes.
The conjurer itself only has moves up till level 30.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 200 floors.
Yep.
They do not even have regen.
You don't get regen?
Nope.
That's a white mage.
Move?
That's a white mage only.
Is it? Oh my god. What do you even do then? You just cast Cure and like Dia all the time?
It'd be Glare 1 at that point. You don't even get Glare 2 until you're in your white mage.
Do you have your dot by then? Yes,
yeah, you do.
do.
You have
okay.
Arrow.
Okay, you've got Arrow.
But it's still Arrow 1.
Yeah, oh my god.
You have Glare 1, you have Arrow 1, you have your basic ass physic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have Cure 1 and Cure 2, and that is it.
Wow.
So,
and Medica and Estina. That's it. That is your entire kit.
Wow.
So they are, to celebrate their success,
uh-huh,
they're doing it again as a thaumaturge.
No! That's so much worse!
Have they considered therapy?
Have they considered doing literally anything else with their life except this?
Maybe like moving out to the country and starting a bee farm?
Or I don't know, going outside, touch some grass, maybe
do
breathe
something.
in some fresh air.
Play some Warframe.
Pet a cat.
You know, I would never say this. I would never say this. I would be happier if you told me you spent every single day in the year just gooning. At least I'd know you were getting some fulfillment. And some exercise.
You were
You're
getting
producing more serotonin that way, for sure, right? Like, damn. Oh my god.
The grind continues in our final article for this week.
Uh-huh.
Zelda Tears of the Kingdom players find a complicated glitch that ends with an unbreakable Master Sword.
Oh, fun. Okay.
In the never-ending quest to duplicate items in Tears of the Kingdom, since the game is done and Nintendo has kind of wandered off of patching it, the players have found a way to get the what is it called? MSG Not Found, which is the unbreakable Master Sword from the prologue of the game.
Yes. Okay.
There used to be an easy way to do it. You could dupe it with by loading a new save, starting a new save, loading your old one, and doing some save trickery. They patched that out. They have found a way to do that without doing that loading thing. There is an hour-long video on how to do it with 7 parts.
Just let your Master Sword break. It comes back in like a couple minutes.
That's just so funny.
Oh, Saturn.
At this point, it's the principle of the matter, though, right?
This is to prove something.
Because, like, I understand the urge to do this because, like, to me, Nintendo's obsession with patching out exploits in Tears of the Kingdom is psychotic. Because, like, it's a single-player game. Who cares, right? Like, who cares if somebody has, like, an extremely elaborate way of having an unbreakable master sword or duping the fucking, the dragon scales and shit.
Right.
Right? Like, who cares if somebody has found a way to dupe that stuff? It's a single-player game. There's no balance that's being broken. Nobody's good time is being ruined because, like, fucking... farming sucks anyways, right? You have to farm dragon scales and stuff like that, and it sucks. It's not fun. You just have to wait around for them to come back, and nobody likes doing it. So who cares, right? So, like, to me, getting past Nintendo's patches to give yourself an unbreakable master sword, even if it takes multiple hours to do so, is just like it's just like the way you give Nintendo the finger, right? You're just like, no, fuck you. I'm going to find a way to do this. It's my single player game. I should be allowed to play it however I want. If I want to ruin the fun, if I want to ruin the grind by fucking duping things or having an unbreakable weapon, I should be allowed to do it. So I do understand. I think it's insane, but I do understand the impulse. Like, I do. I get it a lot, actually. Because, like...
Fuck Nintendo.
Fuck Nintendo! Like, let people play video games the way they want to play their single player video. It's not even like you don't have anybody else that you're like ruining the experience for. It's just yourself.
This isn't like in Pokemon, 100%. Like, I get it because it's a PvP. Like,
there's PvP in that game.
Doing PvP with other people, and if you cheat, and if you like cheat to get like an easier time of getting the things that you want, you ruin other people's fun time because you're ahead of the curve, and you ruin their time.
Right.
This is Zelda. You're playing by yourself.
Yeah.
Let me have an unbreakable master sword. It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
So, no, I respect... You know what? I respect you, psychos. I would never do it, but I do respect you and your psychos.
I think I respect more than anything else the freaks who make mechs in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
To paraphrase the Joker, it's about sending a message.
Sending a message.
I've discovered a tier of Tears of the Kingdom creator I respect more than people who makes mechs, which makes sense because like that's what you'd want to do with the system. I don't have the link to it anymore, but I saw at some point a couple weeks ago someone who in Tears of the Kingdom made a machine whose sole purpose was to infinitely spank bokoblins.
Yes, I've seen that one. It's so good.
Like, it sticks them in, like, a vice, like they're in, like, a fucking pillory or whatever, and it just infinitely spanks them. And they make little grunts in pain every time the machine smacks their ass, and it just goes forever.
It's so funny.
Oh my god.
Why are people like this?
The endless creativity of the human imagination it's a beautiful thing. It's also a little psychotic, but that's fine.
Sarah, for the title card, can you just Photoshop Link's hat on a picture of the Joker saying it's about sending a message?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
But that's about it. That's all we got.
I have late breaking news, actually.
Ooh, go ahead.
Normal show fodder, but it's relevant to this Discord and one of the sound bites that we have in this Discord. Jack Carlson, who shot to fame after Succulent Chinese meal arrest, dies aged 82.
Oh, rip to the real one.
Rip to the king.
Rip
I wish I had that set up in the podcast to play that sound, but if you're in the Discord, it's always on your soundboard. Rest in peace to a real one. We will have your voice immortalized on our server forever.
We're saluting you now, my man.
Your succulent Chinese meal will be eaten, sir.
Yes.
Everyone, a succulent Chinese meal in your honor.
Everyone this weekend, go out and get a succulent Chinese meal in honor of a hero.
Right.
I'm gonna.
You know what? Yeah.
Diva is also demanding a succulent Chinese meal. So. All right,
that'll do it for us all. Thank you
here.
to DJ Cutman for use of background music. You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on all our social medias. Join our Discord. Link to that in the description here. Patreon.com/thegorge and help us out with that. And Yeah, that's about it. Come play FF14 or Fallout 76 with us. Whatever you want to do.
Sure. Fuck Pete Parsons.
Fuck Pete Parsons. That guy's such an asshole.
What a powerful asshole.
His fucking like Twitter. Be nice to everyone.
Yeah, dipshit.
Bio
I bet you
bullshit.
Oh, I hate it. I hope he can never come back to Twitter again. I hope every time he tries to make a tweet, somebody like they light up his fucking replies, right?
Oh, I mean, like he has not tweeted since fucking like June.
Good.
Yeah, I bet
that
not.
Should stay.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night.